Good morning.
I think everything's plugged in.
Too late now if it's not.
We let Atlas back in. She's not banished. She apologized for last week. So, heads up. All right, ready?
Welcome to Books We Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jason.
Something's not muted. And this is our week 2 discussion of The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton. So, make sure you've read up through chapter 62 and not accidentally ahead like I did. If you haven't read this far, just pause the video, finish reading, come back and join us. If you're joining us live, make sure you're chatting in the chat. And if you're joining us on the replay, make sure you're chatting it up in the comment section. Because we need to know.
Yeah.
If you're loving this book, remember that we have also read 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And it's playlisted for you. And it was so good. So.
Yeah. If we don't have a lot of discussion in the comments, it means you didn't read. Because I don't know what's happening.
There's a lot of questions.
There's a lot of questions.
A lot of questions. The puppy is never banished, says Peggy.
Fair enough.
That's true.
President of the book club.
Aww.
I'll make her a shirt.
Oh my god, that'll be so cute.
Yeah.
President of the book club. So what do you guys think? Okay, Shelby, I'm with you. I think I read ahead by one chapter. I think it was only one chapter. I think. I was doing the Audible, man, and I was just listening and just having a great time, and I was really trying to pay attention to him reading the chapter titles. I need them to be more obvious. I need them to be like, hey, we're at chapter 62.
Chapter 62.
It needs to be like totally different, kind of scary.
Just a totally different noise, and they need to be like, oh.
Yeah.
It's 63 now. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, unfortunately, I am really enjoying this book. I think, right? Like, I'm frustrated that I don't have any answers yet. That bugs me. But I finished this reading on like Tuesday or something.
Yeah, he was like, God, I gotta wait all week.
Yeah, I've got to wait all week. So I'm excited to get back to it. But yeah, so what are you thinking so far? Like, are you enjoying this?
I love it.
Okay.
Again, it's very Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
What the heck is up with this leper?
Yeah.
And his little altar?
Mm-hmm.
And who stole the folly? Because it wasn't Faust or whatever.
The boss, yeah.
He just stole some jewels.
Yeah. I am enjoying this. Again, like I said this last week, I'm having trouble keeping up with like the vast. I guess I'm not really having trouble keeping up with it, but it's a lot of characters, and we probably could do with a couple less.
Yeah.
And we even have characters that matter that we've never seen, right? With the lady that the governor meets with in the last chapter, you know. I assume it's a lady. I don't know that for sure.
What are you talking about?
So in the last chapter that we read, the governor goes to somebody's room and knocks on the door.
Oh.
And says, like, oh, it's you. I suspected you were here, right?
Okay, I didn't read ahead then.
That was the last chapter we read.
Okay, I thought that was
I think
63.
I think that's 62.
Okie doke.
I'm pretty sure it's 62.
Well, that's great. That's great news. Yeah. I don't know. All right, well, yeah, here we are. So sorry if we spoil something for you.
No, I think that's right.
It won't be too bad because there's still nothing to answer.
But so we don't know who's in that room.
Right.
But it appears that he goes to the room of the woman who's been like sick this whole time, and he goes there after reading the list of people who were all like busted for making deals with old Tom.
So okay, I thought he said that he was going to the passengers' rooms, which like the below decks passengers, not like the noble folks.
The people below deck don't have rooms. When he goes to the passengers' rooms, he's going to the rich folks' rooms.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so even Arendt at some point was like, you know, it's time to like not just let things pass. Like, what's going on with this lady?
Right.
He's hearing a hissing noise from her room, and he heard a hissing noise from the leper. So I think we were supposed to put that together.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, interesting. Maybe.
He mentioned, like in the narration mentioned a hissing noise
Yeah.
coming from the leper.
I think that it's Emily, whatever her name is, because it's the only woman listed on his list of people that had made deals with old Tom. That was kind of my guess. He was like looking at it, and then he goes like, oh, and then he goes running down there.
Gotcha.
I have no evidence for that whatsoever,
Right.
other than like context clues.
And then, oh man, super spooky. When everyone was hearing the voice of old Tom, like it was just going through everyone. What the heck? What's that weirdo doing whispering all up in everyone's ears? Firstably, if I wake up in the middle of the night and someone's whispering my name, I'm waking up swinging. I'm reaching for everything.
Yeah.
They're just like, listening? Get out of town!
I want to go back. Peggy made a comment about like right now it's like we're stuck on the ship. Like we're looking for land. We're looking for the way out.
Yeah.
And we haven't found the way out yet. You thought that part was spooky. I thought the whole like 2-week storm thing.
Golly.
That gives me the heebie-jeebies.
That
I'm
was
not here for that.
terrible.
Yeah. That was bad news.
How can you not outrun it? I don't...
Yeah. Shelby said that was a slow part of the book, and that's true. That part was slow. Okay, hang on. Come here.
See, I got it
No,
dead.
you don't. Yeah.
Notable passengers. Poor Karis got stabbed, dead. And Isabel's pregnant?
Yeah.
Who did that?
Yeah.
What's
What
up with that? Where
What
are
if
we
it's
going?
like old Tom?
Where are we going
Easy.
with this story? What's up with that?
Okay, hang on. Okay.
She'll figure it out.
Good girl. All right, see ya. So Shelby, I think, asked, do we still think that Leah is a suspect? And I think that's an interesting question because, yeah, I think so. I think I still suspect Leah. Not... There were a couple things in there that made me think maybe it wasn't her, and now I can't remember what those things were. We know now that she designed the folly, and part of me thinks like, well, what if somehow she figured out about old Tom and made a deal when she was like a child so that she could be genius or something? Or what if Sarah did it or something? I don't know.
Well, there's a little ominous bit with her asking Karis, do you think that there are some...
Who's Karis?
The mistress.
Okay.
Or Gracie, sorry. Not
Yes.
Karis, Gracie. Asking Gracie if there are some wrongs that are unforgivable. And Gracie says yes. And Gracie's thinking, like, killing your dad. That would be
Yeah.
unforgivable. But for Leah, it's beating her mom. That's unforgivable. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And we already know that they're plotting something. Because if Leah goes to Amsterdam, she's going to be married off.
Like, yeah, but yes, but also at the same time, it seems that might not be true, right? Like that's not really the plan. They're gonna run away, but Sarah has something up her sleeve, right,
Yeah.
about what they're really doing. I think.
Yeah. He hears a hiss and the same noise has been in the cargo hold. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, Peggy.
Oh, yep, we're back.
Uh-huh.
It appears that our internet is going in and out, so y'all bear with us. Sorry about that. I think y'all can see us again.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll keep going, but we could put on data just to keep it from coming in and out.
You come back in and you're like scratching your face.
Look, I had an itch. Did you want to see?
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. Oops.
So Gracie is mad that Voss died because he was a way out for her, but he was skeezy.
Yeah. And so I guess we're crossing Voss off our list of suspects about making a deal with old Tom. But what's interesting about Voss is that the treasure that we have found him in possession of is treasure that belonged to
Other old Tom means.
other old Tom people. And so where would Voss get this treasure from? Either Voss had it already, which seems unlikely, or he stole it. I think we're supposed to be believing that he stole it from the Governor General. If that is the case, why does the governor have this treasure, And is there something about, is there something about maybe, I'm going to keep calling her Christy because that's the way it looks in the book, right?
Yes, Gracie.
Is Gracie? Okay, Gracie. Is there something about, what's her, she's a concubine? What is she?
She's just a-
consort? Just a consort. That's the word, right?
She's just a mistress.
Mistress. There we go. I mean, all right. So I guess I don't know the difference. But so the mistress's husband is the one who basically killed all these people. What if the reason that the governor knows about Gracie at all is because he had made a deal with this witch hunter back in the past where he would become like the greatest witch hunter in the world, but whenever he like killed these people, the governor got their money and stuff like that. You know, like I don't know, there could be something there. Because it's still weird that this is all tied together. How does this all tie together?
Yeah.
You know, and if it's some kind of plot, you know, and that would explain why maybe the sick woman in the cabin is one of these women that was the woman that was on the list because maybe her family had been persecuted by the governor through the priest and lost all her wealth, and she's come back now to like get her vengeance or something. I don't know. That's my theory. I'm sticking with it.
I don't even know. But, so I'm all hung up on, okay, so Leah made a, what's it called? What's the folly called?
Oh, so it's not really an astrolabe, but it does a similar function. Yeah. Yeah, tell people what you think.
Well, so, Zara is all worried that if people realize that Leah's able to make these things and be this smart, that, you know, bad things will come to or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just a thing that's already like in existence. That's not even a big deal.
This thing is not in existence.
But this is in 3 pieces. It's a computer. And what's the bigger thing that's hidden? It's the power source for the computer. It's a battery.
This is the hottest hot take we've had in 3 books.
Because what else could be that big of a deal?
I mean, it could be. Yeah, I mean, you know, so the folly is described to us as having like a bunch of cogs and, you know, like stars on it. And that might have been like on the box, but, you know, so we had like a little bit of a description of it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sound like a computer.
It's the first IBM. That thing was like the size of a room.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it could be.
It's the only thing.
Yeah. How about Leah? You know what's sketchier than her making the folly, which like serves a function, but her like getting some wood on the boat and making an exact replica of the boat that would show you where there's space enough to have smuggling compartments.
Yeah, how did she
That's
know?
Wild.
Did she have like the specs of the boat?
I mean, I don't know.
Gracie's been pulling blueprints from.
Yeah, so she like builds this thing, but like, couldn't you just like take the blueprints and be like, look, there's some space between these walls, right? Yeah. I don't know. That part was weird.
I don't know. Yeah, kids an inventor in the 1600s. Galileo was sent to house arrest in the 1600s because he had thoughts. Yeah, I mean, good point. Yeah. Good point. But I mean, it's got to be something wild.
Well, and I'm like, this is a time when people were literally killed for being witches and stuff. People here are familiar with that concept.
Mm-hmm. Jason also reminded me that I had read a spoiler when I was splitting up the chapters, which I had forgotten about.
Oops.
Completely. And now I'm trying to figure out, how do we even get to that spoiler that I read? So far, I do not see how this book ends up at that place. It's the 1600s. I don't even understand how it could be possible. That folly is a computer.
Okay, I'm here for that. I would love for this story to take that turn. But I mean, let's ignore the folly for a second. I think it's weird that there's something on the boat that has taken up half of the cargo space, and we've never talked about it.
That's the power source.
But like, where is it? Why? Like, they've been poking around in the cargo hold. They haven't like run into a locked door.
Right.
They haven't like noted. Like, is it in a bunch of these boxes? And are all these boxes the thing? Can they just bust it open? Is it this treasure that Voss has taken a piece of? Where's it at? What's the deal? And like, you can't tell me, well, it was like metaphorical or something. They're literally missing half their food, right? Like,
right.
I don't know. It's an alien spaceship.
It might as well be.
It's a cryopod.
Yikes.
I would love that.
Couple of things that made me laugh. I don't remember who they were talking to or talking about. Was it larvae? I don't know. But there was some talk of popping a carrot back in the sack, and that came up a couple of times. I was dying.
Funny. That was funny.
I was dying. Yeah. And there was another reference to anatomy that made me laugh. There's just, I guess it's just, sailor talk. But I liked the part where Zara had told Gracie to do something towards the end there. And it said her friend had asked her to copy them, and Gracie was in the habit of doing nearly everything Zara asked without question. For the truth was, Zara was more like her husband than she would admit, that her authority was built on a foundation of kindness rather than greed. And that reminds me of, like, is it better to rule by fear or by love? Mm-hmm. And Zara is a perfect example of how effective you can be as a leader when you're fair and kind.
Right. Their relationship is just fascinating to me.
Yeah. And while her husband is withering away, he's used his power and his power's used him, and it's just sucked him dry. Yeah. Described as like hawk-like, and he's scared of the dark and all that. Mm-hmm. Oh, also, how did Arendt's dad's rosary end up on the boat?
Yeah. Okay, so let's
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Is he the leper?
I mean, he'd be fairly old by now. Arndt's dad? Man. Could be. That's interesting. The grandfather is still alive. Mm-hmm. Because and the grandfather is who ordered Sammy to be, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. For being a spy? Yeah. The leper found the rosary on Arendt.
So let's flip back to the leper for a second. Because Shelby asked, is the leper on the boat the same leper that was at the dock? My guess is no.
Because the one on the dock was Bosie and he was not a leper.
Well, he was a leper, I think.
But you can't gain, like, that level of leprosy or whatever in, like, 2 weeks.
What if it's from radiation from being next to...
the folly. Or the thing. The power source.
An alien spaceship. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but I still think that the leper is Sammy. And I think that he's using this to investigate and poke around and do stuff. There was that part during the storm when Arendt went to get Sammy out of the...
And it took a while.
And he, like, could not find him in his tiny hole. And because I think that... And I think probably Leah knows... Because she's, like, built this model boat or whatever, that, like, there's a way around. I don't know. I think that Sammy can get out.
Do you think Sammy and Leah are working together?
Not necessarily. But, like, Sammy should be way more deranged by now. Way more deranged than he is.
But if Leah knows all his pathways, she has snuck out and met him.
Maybe. And then, and then continuing to talk about the leper, right? Bosie uses the word laxigar, which we now know means trap. And what does that mean? A trap for who? A trap why? If it's somebody from the past coming back trying to, like, entrap the governor, why would they tell Bosie their plans? Like, what's the deal there? Is it a trap to catch old Tom? Is it a trap to have old Tom catch you? Is old Tom not real? It has nothing to do with that, But why does Bosie even know at all what the plan is?
Oh, yeah, Peggy. Peggy wants to know what happened to her sons. Are you talking about Zara's sons? Because it mentioned at the beginning that she had sons and lost them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. He gets out for not very long. And so here's the other thing that I think is sketchy about Sammy. This is, I keep looking for, like, my Chekhov's guns things because I feel like that's the deal with Stuart Turton. And the reason I think Sammy's still involved is because he makes Arndt turn around when he poops. Every time he brings Sammy out of the cell, they go up on the top deck, and Sammy, like, hangs his butt over the edge, and he makes Arndt turn around. And the first time it ever happened, Arndt was like, this is weird. Like, this is nothing I haven't seen before, right? We hang out all the time. And he says, "No, you got to turn around." And Sammy and then he thinks about it several more times whenever they're up there doing this, where he's just like, oh, he's been kind of weird about this lately. And I think he is passing something off or leaving a message somewhere, dropping something off the side of the boat. Like there's something going on there that Sammy is doing while he makes Arndt turn around. And because like otherwise, like why include that detail? That's weird.
Yeah, there's lots of details though,
Yeah.
and it's so that we go crazy with all of these guesses, and that by the end we're like, that was one of my guesses, but we really had a billion guesses, and we don't know.
We probably talked about this, but when I was a child, my dad and I watched Lost as it came out every episode, and it has ruined me forever because Lost is all about looking for the clues and guessing. And, yeah. But there's something there. There's definitely something there.
He is dropping something off the side of the boat.
He is, but they make a big deal about it.
They
So.
do. They do.
And
And they did mention that, let's see, Sarah saw the leper outside her window, and directly underneath that was some other important location.
Yeah, well, and they found the ashy hands, right?
Yeah.
Which to me, I thought after a while that could be gunpowder, right? Because they put the pieces of somebody put the pieces of the folly in empty gunpowder barrels. I don't know that it is gunpowder, but like it could, that is the only black powder that has been mentioned to us.
And this is a sailboat, not a steamboat, right?
Yeah, no steamboats at this time. Thank you, baby. Thank you, baby.
Do we think that Sammy is a spy?
Like for the English? No, not really. I'm not even convinced the grandfather wrote that letter. What if Sammy wrote the letter to ensure that he could end up on the boat or something?
Gracie's not convinced that the letter's legit.
Yeah. Has Arndt seen
Wait,
it?
that's a different letter. Sorry.
Yeah. She thinks that the letter from her husband
It's fake.
to the dead priest is fake. Yeah.
Right. Too many letters.
Yeah, and so Arndt probably hasn't seen the letter from his grandfather. What if it's the same handwriting? That would be interesting.
I mean, there's a lot to resolve.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and it's so complicated. And I feel like everybody's involved in one way or the other. All of our characters still have secrets, right? Mm-hmm. And we have a different problem than we did in 7.5 Deaths, where we have more than one narrator. But I feel like all of our narrators are lying to me, or they're all keeping something hidden.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because we don't know what Sarah and Leah are up to completely.
Right.
Yeah. There was some interesting commentary. I'm reminded of it by Peggy saying ick from the obligation stuff. But interesting commentary about Zara and the power that she holds against her husband, and the fact that she's never backed down from him and fulfills her obligation, but that's it, and all that. There was some really interesting stuff there.
Yeah. Shelby was saying that she didn't understand why Arndt had to fight, and the deal is it's easy to forget because it was like chapters and chapters before, but he had made a deal, or so Larm
is the only one who knew what that word would mean.
No, Wyatt, or what the boatswain starts with a W. He was the only one who knew.
Wick,
yes. Wick was the only one who knew what Laxgar meant. Larm told Arndt that. And so then Arndt made a deal with Wick. Probably one of the times when they were in the gunpowder room, I think is when it was. And he said, look, like, your crew is starting to disrespect you. I will let you win this fight. That way they'll all be afraid of you again. But you're going to tell me what this word means. Mm-hmm. And then the storm happens, and it's been like 3 weeks. Larm gets involved, says, you don't want to do this. They do want to do this. And then Wick just decides he's just going to up and kill him. Because, like, why not? Mm-hmm. Your crew will still fear you, and you don't have to tell anybody anything.
Yeah, that was all weird.
And then Larm tries to help Wick. Mm-hmm. Because he doesn't... Because, like, once he realizes that, like, this is a fight to the death or whatever... he doesn't want Wick to die because Wick is the person who keeps the crew from coming after him. Yeah, so it's...
Yeah. That was a whole mess. There's a lot of drama there. Arnt's very clever, though. And he's able to put people in check without actually killing them unnecessarily. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Sarah.
Do we have any guesses yet at all about the ghost light? That is the weirdest one to me yet. What is that? And so
At the end of the chapter that you read, did the light come back on?
yes, I think it did.
Okay, so I guess I didn't read ahead.
I feel like it did. I'm not sure, but at some point
you read ahead.
I don't think so.
Did you guys see the ghost light come back on?
I feel like it did, but I don't know. But like, assuming that there's not some demon turning on a light out in the middle of the ocean, right? Like assuming there's no literal magic. What is the deal here? Like, what is that? I don't know. I know we read ahead. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. And it might have been a different scene where the ghost light came back on. Like, I might be confusing scenes. I don't know.
Well, in what I read, the light came back on.
I feel like I did too.
Shelby read that part. So yeah, we read ahead a chapter. As he went in the room,
yes,
the light came
yes,
on. That's
yes,
a chapter
yes.
ahead. Yeah. Yep.
Really?
Man. God, we got to get back to the book. There's just too much. So, okay. What if there is a devil?
If there is literal magic involved, all bets are off, and I'm not playing anymore. I mean, like, and the point. And I'm not like, I'm joking, but I'm not really joking, right? But like, assuming that there is a demon who is messing with people, there is no way that I get to play. Right? I don't get to play guess, because it can do whatever it wants, and there are no rules anymore, and everything's made up, and the points don't matter. And I don't think that will happen to me. I'm sure it'll be totally out of left field. I'm sure it'll be totally something I could have never guessed. But there will be some key that we are given where you look back at all the pieces and say, okay, had I had this key, I could have figured this out, right? There will be that final clue that ties it all together.
But why kill the predicant? Shelby's saying that she thought he was the bad guy.
I thought it was
and
a
now that
chance.
he's dead, she's just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Why kill him?
Maybe he knew about it. What if Isabel did it? I mean, like...
I'm kind of wondering that, too.
Yeah. What if it's his baby and it was unwanted, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of times what happens in books like this, obviously, is that you get like side mysteries, and maybe that's just the side mystery.
And we have a lot of different kinds of people in a small space.
Yeah. What if he is? What if it is somebody come back from the past who was persecuted by like this witch hunting order? What if the governor general kind of helped facilitate that and make that happen, or directed them towards his own targets or something like that? And what if, because he's the last of that order, he is being killed for that reason, right? Like, it's just like either as a vengeance thing against the order, or to prevent him from being able to do something like what Gracie's husband did in the past, something like that. Those are all options. I don't know. I don't know.
Who slaughtered all those animals? How'd they do it so fast? What's up with that? Why'd the pigs have to die?
What if this is the Matrix? And we all wake up.
If it is, then Stuart Turton's a one-trick pony.
Pretty much. I'm okay with that. It's a good trick.
But I've been thinking about that, and what if it's the same?
Yeah.
Also, direct. What's his role?
Yeah, that's a good point, right? Because so now we know that Drecht was the one who went to the island with the governor general. I mean, And so, like, again, we like that's like a side quest. What is that? Why does it matter? It has now come up several times, and instead of just being, hey, the governor did this, he's a bad dude, and you'd be like, oh, that's weird, and it was just like some biographical information. It seems to matter, right? Like it has come back around several times.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's pretty wild, that whole story of him destroying that whole island. Not just the men,
Who else?
but the women and the children too.
Dang. Well done. I want to go back to Peggy's talking about like the people hearing the voice in their heads. I have a feeling this is another Walls situation, partially because we have had that mentioned to us already, right? About somebody in this book about Sammy solving a mystery about a lady living in the walls.
Yep.
And partially because I think that Leah knows. I think that she knows that there's ways to get in and around the ship. I think that might be maybe the reason that the ship was chosen.
Yeah, she's really shedding.
Wow.
And so, you know, there was also all the drama about splitting the people on the ship up.
Like the soldiers. They sent the soldiers over. Yeah. Yeah.
And now we've lost all those other boats. There might be one or two left somewhere. And again, where's that ghost ship coming from? It's got to be something attached to this boat.
So, like, you know, part of me thinks, like, either it's something being dragged by the other boats, except now there aren't other boats. Right. The other part of me is, like, it's a Sophon, right? Like, the Sophon is the only other thing I've got that could do this, you know? What if there was some kind of optical illusion, right? What if somehow somebody was able to put a mirror out into the darkness just a little ways away from them, and then have a light on the boat that shines back at them on the mirror, right? Something like that.
Like maybe something they could cast off from the top of the sail mast thingy.
Something, right? And so part of me thinks it could be, like, because that's the only other way, given the technology of the time, that you could be on this boat and do something like that.
Right. Does someone, like, live up in the crow's nest or whatever?
Well, people take shifts. So, like, yeah, that could happen.
Do we know who's up there?
Nope. A Doug.
I was about to say that. What else we get? Who suggested sending 30 guys to another boat? Could one of them be in cahoots to light the 8th lantern? Dract suggested it. Drecht.
Yeah. And the reasoning was that because there wasn't enough food for everybody on this ship.
Right.
Where's the thing? Where's your computer battery? Why has nobody been like, that's weird, I'd like to see that thing? Everybody has talked about it. Everybody.
Like, everyone knows it's there.
And not one person has been like, hey, we should go pull the tarp up on the thing that's the size of 7 minivans, right? Like,
yeah.
What is that? This is a big boat, relatively. For them to be missing half of the food for over 400 people or whatever for 8 months is big. What if it just, like, straight up is a demon? That would be cool.
It keeps reminding me of what was the Stephen King book we read? But the vampire getting shipped over.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
My eye. I mean, what else could it be? Nuclear reactor.
Cryopod. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be something, like, absolutely insane. It's got to be, because if it's just like it was 700 pounds of gold, I'm gonna be like, okay, that's disappointing. I don't want that. I want something absolutely unhinged.
What does he want in Amsterdam? He wants to become part of the.
17, yeah.
And the Gentlemen 17 are
the ruling body of the company.
And so he's thinking that he's going to make his way onto the Gentleman 17 because he has in his possession something that can rule the world.
Nope. He has. It's not the mystery thing. The thing that can rule the world is the folly. Yeah. Because
so the mystery has to be even better than the folly.
Yeah. And I'm not sure. Like, I want to make sure everybody appreciates how important the folly is and, like, what a fantastic tool that is, right? Like, I mean, it's, you said, like, what if it's a computer? I mean, it's medieval GPS, right? Like, that's what that thing is.
Yeah.
And that's a huge deal. But so, maybe the other thing is not nearly as life-changing or whatever, but it's certainly bigger, and it is more secret.
The folly has already been stolen once.
That's true.
And then retrieved.
And we don't really know who.
The folly is on this boat as a distraction, so that people are going after that thing and not after the secret thing.
Maybe so. Yeah. And do we know who stole the folly the first time?
No, but Sammy found him, and Arndt found it.
Right, but
Here they are again.
But what, did we execute the people who took it? Did they go to jail? Did we even know? I'm not sure we even know.
Maybe that was all fake.
Yeah, what if it was all fake? I'm kind of inclined to believe that. Or what if it, like, Leah had taken it back? Or, and so if Sammy and Leah are in cahoots, maybe this is how. What if Leah makes this thing and then has, like, some kind of plan? She steals the thing back hoping that Sammy will come. Now Sammy comes, she gives it back to him so that he can be, like, the hero or whatever, and then they act out this plan. Mm. That's my new theory. We're doing this. And it's also she can get her cryopod that she has created to CERN.
Yeah, what if Leah... CERN.
1600s CERN.
Yeah, Leah really is the alien here. She is the issue. Again, I like all the little, like, reflections and the little just notes about humanity and behavior and stuff like that are made throughout. Mm-hmm. And one of them I thought was interesting. Sarah so admires Arndt and just really around him and loves that he treats her like an equal, and she just has a lot of fun with him. And as soon as he's around Sammy, all of Arndt's action first, in charge, I know what I'm doing, is gone. And she's like, well, I guess anyone would feel like an idiot next to this genius, But that's interesting that Arndt admires Sammy so much and has dedicated his life to protecting him and being his heavy. Mm-hmm. But next to him, he's diminished.
Yeah.
He doesn't hold his full countenance next to him. I think that's interesting. You can feel like you're such a compliment with somebody, but other people see that you're not your full self.
The chat's talking about paprika and spices and stuff like that, and like how people keep smelling that. Yeah. Because that's what they do, right? Like, that's what these boats are meant to do. They're meant to trade spices. But this makes me think, what if whatever this mystery treasure is came from the island that they murdered? Mm-hmm. What if it's like the wealth of a nation, or like, I don't know, something like that, right? Mm-hmm. And if it ties back into that, that'd be interesting.
Well, and the fact that Isabel smelt so strongly of paprika, Sarah just assumed it's because her room is right above that.
Right.
I think it's because Isabel's been down in there.
Yeah.
So I think.
Well, we know she has, because when the guy pulled his little carrot out, he saw Isabel.
Oh yeah, little carrot. Put that back in the sack. Yeah, and with him, Karis being found dead down there. I mean, and Isabel immediately smelling so strongly of paprika.
She killed that dude.
Something happened, right? Something happened between them, but she was down there.
I don't know, man. I'm out of guesses.
I'm never out. I'm just going to guess everything wildly until we finish our eating, and then we'll be like, oh! Smugglers. What are they smuggling? They're like, we found the real spice.
It's the spice melange.
Well done.
You don't need the folly when you can just huff a bunch of spice and know how to make your way across the planet or whatever, right? Because that's what it did, right? It helped them navigate between stars, yeah. That'd be funny.
Crossover.
There's just like a very large, like Baron Harkonnen sort of guild navigator in a vat. Remember the original Dune? They had like the guild navigator who looked like a giant worm thing. Yeah, that'd be dope.
Nasty.
Yeah.
Dune, desert planet.
Yeah, I agree. I think Kearns did Isabel wrong, and then she killed him. There's just a side mystery there.
Yeah.
But somebody got Kearns to come and go on the boat, and so maybe he was supposed to have done something, and now is prevented because Isabel has killed him or something like that. You know. But somebody had plans for him.
It is wild to me though that so many secrets, like secret locations and passageways and whatever, can be on this boat. It is not that big.
Yeah, no, it's kind of unreasonable. Having a smuggler's compartment is totally normal, but and having a couple is probably totally normal. But if we find out that there's like passageways between the walls
and stuff,
yeah, I don't know, man.
But I think the boat started taking on water. I think some of the water can be hints as to where some of these secret passageways and stuff are.
Interesting.
You know, like you're gonna see water flowing somewhere and follow it, and then you're gonna find this passageway where there's something.
That could be that. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Because any hollow spot on a boat, it's just gonna hold water.
Yeah.
Ugh, all the dead floating rats. Yeah,
that was weird. Yeah. So Shelby's guessing that Arndt's father is not dead.
That's my guess too.
I think it's a good guess. I think it's weird that he doesn't like remember
getting his tattoo.
Yeah, and like and there's this whole thing about like the assassin. Well, who's the assassin, right? Was it the witch hunter? Like, is that was it Gracie's husband or whatever? Yeah. You know, that kind of makes sense to me.
Peter. And you know, Gracie read that stuff in the book, and she's like, "God, Peter never said he killed anyone. Like, this just doesn't sound like him."
Yeah.
So maybe there's some mistaken identity there, or
I just don't think she knew. Like, he's a witch hunter. He definitely killed people. That's like the deal.
The thing.
Yeah.
Or not mistaken identity, but false identities.
Yeah.
You know. And if Arndt's dad's not dead, well then whoever killed him has the rosary, and he's on the boat.
Yeah. Because they found the rosary in the pig pens.
So what if Peter isn't really dead?
It's possible. I feel like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's possible.
Oh.
What if Peter's
Gracie's going to be so traumatized. She really liked that one.
Yeah. Yes, Wick knows something more. The chat's talking about that. I agree. I just don't know what. So.
He's still alive, right?
Yeah,
we didn't kill him off.
Still alive.
Yeah. Not for long. Oh, is Wick the one-eyed dude?
Yeah. I don't think I have much else to say. I need to go read.
Yeah, we have nothing but guesses.
Yeah. I can sit here all day.
This is what's kind of fun about these
Sarah
books.
is Arndt's dad.
That show that you watched about the boat, what was it called? 1712? Something like that?
So there's a show. It's on Netflix. I feel like it's made by the same people that made Dark, which is fantastic. Nicole doesn't like it. I see you looking. Anyway, it was called like 1806 or 1863 or something. It's a steamship, so it's not 1806. You
had mentioned initially this sounding like that, and now I agree.
Yeah.
I think that what happened in that show is what's happening here.
Yeah. So if you're interested, you can easily find it, but it's
good.
Yeah,
it did not get renewed for another season.
It's just one season, so you're not going to be happy with the ending because it sets it up for a second. But I will not be shocked when this ends that way.
I mean, it seems the same.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Especially with the spoiler that I have now remembered.
Okay, I gotta go read, y'all. I gotta read.
Oh, baby puppy dog. Did my cat go wake you up?
All right, you got anything else? We can love on this dog privately. We don't have to do it for all of YouTube to watch.
No, I don't have anything else. Do y'all have anything else? Fist my bump. What? Shelby!
Oh, that's amazing.
Thank you. We'll have to do a special unboxing.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun.
Because we've got Cuisinart Snack Attack, and then we've got... it's
Wham Bang.
off camera. Wham Bang.
Also, just like wrapping up, I'm aware that I owe everyone the next book. I have to pick it. I have not picked it yet. We are intending to take off the weekend of Memorial Day. So we are going to finish this book next weekend, and then we intend to have no show the following week. Right?
Right.
Okay. So anyway, I've got a little bit of time, but we're going to make sure that we get that to you guys. Because even though we're not doing a show, we need to go ahead and put in a reading for everyone. And maybe we even make it a 2-week reading or something, you know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just to
keep it moving?
might as well.
Whatever. We can keep it a 3-week and just have a week off, and you have 2 weeks to get your book, or whatever you want.
Yeah. All right, we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will get that out as soon as I get my act together.
There's just so many books to choose from. Sad, said Peggy.
Sad.
Maybe we can post something fun and quick just to check in with the group.
Yeah, we'll do something.
Yeah. Go read. Go discover all the mysteries.
All right. I'll see you back next week so we can all freak out together.
Happy reading.
See ya.
What is this button? You see that?
Yeah, I don't
That's
know.